Evening. This is USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. This program is brought to you by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. And we're going to be talking about the importance of image management and building your brand. We've got some incredible guests with us today. So let's get the show started. Let's welcome the star, Mr. Philip Sykes. As I mentioned, he is the founder and principal of the British School of Excellence, and he's also a very dear friend. Joining us from London. Welcome, sir.
Friday.
Woo, it's Friday again.
Can you believe it? How are you, Dr. Jacqueline?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Exceptionally well, thank you. Very well. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you also. What do you think of my new background?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I know exactly where that is as well.
Well, it gives me a good feeling. It's very colorful and it's just beautiful. So I can't wait to get over there at some point soon. I hope. Fingers crossed.
We'll have you sailing on the River Thames, that's for sure. Seeing London from the water.
Oh, it sounds magnificent. And I know that you have some fabulous guests who are backstage. Before we bring them out, why don't you share a little bit with our audience? As you know, we are on so many additional platforms now, and people are coming to us all the time. What is it that you do at the British School of Excellence, and how can you help our audience?
That's a great question. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. Well, it's far from what people may think about what we do is teaching and coaching people in etiquette and manners. Yes, we do, but really at the end of the day, we're giving you those quintessential tools to put your best foot forward. So basically what we're doing is building and giving you those tools to have that beautiful human-to-human connection and interaction. And we do that through the power of etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence, understanding how important it is to build your own brand. Because one of the things that I'm sure many of you know out there, and if you don't, I'm about to share that with you, is that if you don't brand yourself, someone's going to brand you. And right now in this world, we live in a very small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it, but we have the privilege and the ability to connect with people globally, and you can show up in any environment and predominantly online, and you've really got to understand how important it is that you brand yourself accordingly and how people will connect with you and how you can guide and steer them. And so as an organization, I truly believe that we have the ability to guide and steer people and give them these tools to move forward in life. And this is about creating a dynamic connection between human beings going forward for the future of our lives. Because right now, where the world stands, I truly believe that we've got a lot of challenges amongst people connecting with one another, respecting one another, being kind to one another, helping one another, and going out there and making a difference. So that's what we do quintessentially at the British School of Excellence.
Thank you so much, Philip. And of course, you have some incredible courses that you offer, and you've created a global alumni, and two of your alumnus cohorts are here today. Would you like to tell us more?
Absolutely. A few weeks ago, for those of you who frequent the show may recall that we shared that we ran Train the Trainer live in London, the first one since March 2020. And I couldn't even have imagined the powerhouse that we attracted in the in-person live Train the Trainer. That was absolutely phenomenal. It was 6 full days of giving our students the most incredible material. They in turn shared incredible material, incredible experiences. And today we joined, as we always seem to attract, is the League of Nations. Today we've got the most beautiful, amazing woman all the way from Nigeria, who's global, world traveled, and then Nancy all the way from India, again another powerhouse from India who's very well traveled. They joined us on that Train the Trainer program, and for me, I honestly have to say it was one of the most memorable weeks I can possibly put in my memory bank. It was just phenomenal.
Well, without further ado, let's celebrate them for being here today. Let's welcome, first of all, BC, who is a leadership coach. Hello, welcome.
Hello then, Jocelyn, and hello, Philip. It's great to see you again.
Hello, Your Excellency. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful to see you.
It's nice to meet you. Let's bring out our other guest, Mansi, who is the owner of Transform with Mansi. Welcome to the program.
Namaste and welcome to all from India.
Hello, Mansi. Thank you for joining us. I know it's late for you, so it's wonderful that you could join us.
Yes. It's great to be here. Hello, BC.
Hello, Mansi. It's nice to see you again. I miss you all.
Absolutely. So did we.
So I want to start off asking how your experience was with the Train the Trainer program. That's the first question. And then if you can just give us a couple of takeaways from the program. We'll start with Mansi.
It was the best experience that I have had in my life. You know, being with a global community was one of my dreams. In India, I've done a lot of workshops, but being with a global community, sharing ideas from across the globe, seeing new perspectives was something that was phenomenal. There is so much take home, you know, in this 6 days of power packed the thing that we had with the British school. There's so much of take home. There was take home of a global community. There was take home like nothing is impossible and you're unstoppable. And etiquettes and manners is not something that you learn and forget about it. It's an implementation, it's a lifestyle which you do and then stand out in the crowd. That was my major take home, that it's a lifestyle. You cannot just study it today and forget it tomorrow. You have to be there every time, be your best and be your natural best. No show offs here.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. No show offs. That's one I'll remember. And BC, what would you like to add about your experience and one or two takeaways from the Train the Trainer program?
I had a wonderful time at the Train the Trainer program. And I'm really grateful to Philip and his colleagues at the British School of Excellence for such a wonderful experience. I took away a lot, but if I could just mention two of them. I think the importance of showing up as the best version of yourself possible was something that stayed with me. As Philip said earlier, image management and etiquette is not just about knowing how to dine properly, use the right and so on. It's a way of life, to re-echo what Mansi has said. And all of us want to be better at what we do and come across as better. So that was very important for me. And the second thing was, we live in a world that's constantly changing. Some of us are getting older and there are younger generations that we interact with. So we need to learn how to pass messages across and interact with generations that are ours and also the ones after us. Because sometimes there's a lot of miscommunication and it affects the way that we work.
Thank you very much. Excellent point you made there, especially about the generations. Philip, what would you like to add about your experience hosting?
This is just so wonderful and warm to hear, because you're attracting incredible people from such wonderful experiences and backgrounds, and they come on this program and they walk away with the most enhanced sort of opportunities, the networking ability, understanding other people's perspective and points of view, the multicultural connection. And not only that, just as BC referred to, is for us as adults is to really try better to understand the younger generation and to put some tools in place that they feel they can connect with the older generation. But we still are the older generation, and we have been there, and a lot of us have got that t-shirt, even the key ring, and we need to get that message across to them, because nowadays with social media there's so much miscommunication, misunderstanding, that the likes of all of us, and I hate to say it in a positive way, but we didn't grow up with social media. And thank goodness we didn't, because we created our own excitement, our own adventures. And now everyone out there is living through other people's so-called experiences or enhancements or whatever it might be, whether it be true, false, or sits on the fence. And this is where, again, my mum always said, you boys, you think you invented dinner parties, sex and drinking alcohol. Well, I can assure you it's been around for a lot longer than you think. And this is something which is so true. All these youngsters think of us so-called oldies have never really lived, and we've lived hard, and we've lived for a long time on this earth already, and we can guide and steer people. And that's the beauty about maturing, and hopefully we've matured in the right direction.
Thank you, Philip. I want to ask our guests a question based on something that you just said. So when I was growing up, I heard quite frequently, we didn't do it like that when we were your age, or when I was your age, X, Y, and Z. So I'm wondering, for the younger generation, do people like to hear how it was for me or what my experience was, or is that disrespectful? Nancy, what do you think?
So it's upon how you put it across. I have two kids, one is 20, one is 15, and I always say the 15-year is extremely naughty. If you put it across as a story that this is what we used to do, and this is how we reacted to things, and this is how we did things, unlike the way you do it today, which is not wrong, but this is not how we did it. If you just reprimand them, they don't want to hear you. But if you talk about like a storytelling, they definitely sit and hear you.
So with the story, you give some background and then there's a moral at the end?
Always.
Always.
Always. Yes.
I love storytelling for sure. BC, what are your thoughts about this? Is it condescending?
Well, I believe younger people, wherever they are in the world, they don't like to be told what to do. And they don't like to be told when they are wrong, even though many times they are wrong and you do know better. But at the same time, it's important to establish the kind of relationship, the kind of rapport that can enable an inter and multi-generational flow of ideas and information. There's a lot that younger people can learn from older people. But older people too, there's a lot we can learn from them, especially how to navigate the new world we find ourselves in using social media. So I think it's about the values that we have in common and how we would like to pass these down. Values that are global, that are not unique to any culture, values around mutual respect, around compassion, around integrity, honesty. And so I believe if we can continue to have conversations with people of all ages around these core values, then how we work together and how we relate with one another in public and private will become a lot easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you. Our topic today is about image management and building your brand. So, how do you feel the way you treat other people is going to impact your brand? We'll start with Nancy.
So the saying goes is the way you treat other people is the way they are going to look at you, perceive you, and respond or react to you. And I always believe in the maxim, like we learned, the golden rule is do unto others like you would like others to do unto you. But the platinum rule is do unto others what they expect to be done. So, yes, treat them with respect, which is always the first thing. And then find out what they want, sense the room, and then act accordingly.
I love that. How do you all feel about that? BC, what are your thoughts about what Nancy just shared?
Well, when you're talking about a brand, it's no different from a business brand when you're talking about personal brands. So if as a person you go to this place that has a name, that's a known brand, and you get a cup of coffee and the coffee is cold or lukewarm at best, and the salesperson is rude and is not listening to what you have to say, you do not have a favorable impression of the establishment. And you are not likely to want to go back there, especially if there's someone else down the road who gives you coffee that is hot and who have salespersons who are pleasant and polite. And so as persons, if we come across as rude, intolerant, not willing to listen to what other people have to say, or because they're different from who we are, it's likely that our business relationships, our personal relationships, and any opportunities we might have for advancement are going to be limited.
Absolutely. Philip, you're shaking your head. What are your thoughts?
Love that. So true. Such a nice analogy. This is exactly what this is about. It's what do they say? People see you before they hear you, and then if you cannot sort of follow through and find consistency in who you are, then it's going to give people that false sort of impression of an individual, and it's very hard to come back. It's very hard to come back and sort of try to rebrand yourself. Look, people have done it in the past, and we can look at, let's say, for example, what's easy for people, a lot of people to understand is, let's say, famous sports stars. We know a few out there that have really tarnished themselves, and somehow they've made a way back, but that tarnish will still always be there with a certain element of people. And that's a big letdown for a lot of people, because, for example, when we show up for other people, they start to believe in us and they start to trust us. And trust is a very, very powerful word, but trust can easily be broken, and it's very difficult to rebuild that trust. And so this is where I think people need to really understand that, and it's just exactly about BBC and both Nancy said, let's be better versions of ourselves. Let's go out there and try and be better than we were yesterday. And that's all we need to do, but we need to find consistency in our approach to life. This is a really key element. And going back to what Nancy was sharing is, we understand the idea of do unto others as we wish them to do unto us, but we also need to learn to elevate ourselves on a level that other people like to be connected on. One size does not fit one. Not one size does not fit all. One size fits one. So the more we start to expose ourselves to whoever it is in our lives, we've got to learn the importance of building trust and connection, and really using our best selves to build that rapport.
Thank you, Philip. That's a great point also. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in a world, at least here in the States, in places where I've been frequently, it's becoming more and more casual, the way people are dressed, the way people are speaking to one another, even the words people are using. And I'm wondering if your image is so casual and laid back, how does that impact your brand, if at all? We'll go with BC this time.
Well, I was raised by a father who believed that you are addressed the way you are dressed. And so it was important for me to understand from an early age how you show up looking like how you want to be treated. And I've had cause to have these conversations with younger people around me. There was a niece of mine who showed up for a family event, and we were actually going out into the community for this event. And she was dressed as if she was going to the beach. So I asked her, what would you like to be when you finished college? Because she was in university at the time. She said, I'd like to be a lawyer. So I took her to the front of a mirror and I asked her, do you look like a lawyer? She said no. So I said, so why are you dressed this way? So I think it's important for us to understand that there's a time and place for everything. If we want to be taken seriously by anyone, we need to take ourselves seriously. And the way we appear, the way we dress, the way we interact with other people is a part of that.
Thank you so much, BC. I agree with what you just said. Is there an occasion or an opportunity where we just want to take off from being ourselves? Like it's a Saturday or it's a Sunday and we don't care who sees us or how we look, or do we need to be in top form all the time? Nancy, what are your thoughts?
So the thing that I believe in is be appropriate. Be appropriately dressed to the role that you are playing, to the goals that you have in mind, and to the occasion. If I'm going for a movie with my family, I don't need to be all in a jacket or, with heavy accessories and all that. I can let my hair down a little. I can turn up a little more casual than I would be for a formal meeting. So yes, if I am going to meet a client, I better be appropriately dressed for that, because that's my impression and that's the company and organization's impression that I carry. If he looks at me, and that's the first thing he's going to be looking at, my speech and communication will come later on. What I bring to the table will come later on. But if he looks at me and he's already decided that this is who I do not want to work with because of how she's turned up, or this is who I want to work with because I like the way she's turned out, that's a win-win for me there.
I'm smiling. I think what you said is spot on. Now, what about if our communication and our body language is not in alignment with how we're turned out? So in other words, we're dressed very professionally, but the words we're using are not so much. And maybe we're even coming across as very judgmental. How does that impact your brand? Philip, would you like to share something first?
It's a great question. It's going to unfortunately put you in the wrong corner, and at 150%. And we're not talking about your accent. We're not talking about which part of the world you come from. Firstly, anyone out there, I'm going to detract slightly. If anyone ever apologizes for their English, it means they speak a second language at least, which a lot of people in this world battle to speak their mother tongue in the first place. So what I'm really referring to is choice of words are fundamental. You don't need to bring big, what I call highfalutin words into your vocabulary. You need to bring polished language into your vocabulary and use it to the best of your ability and advantage. Cut the slang out, cut those wretched filler words out that you often hear people now using, like every 10 seconds. You can count them when you're talking to a lot of people out there. So when it comes to our preparation in going forward as a polished individual, as a person who wants to carry their brand, they need to really sort of refine every aspect of themselves in order to complement that brand.
And Philip, while we have you here, can you talk about, in addition to that, how do our emotions impact our branding?
Hugely. And again, this is something that these two wonderful women, ladies, we worked on during the Train the Trainer. We talk and we bring this into play about your body language can affect your mindset, and your mindset can affect your body language. So if you're not in a good frame of mind, it's about finding those tools to help you click into gear so that you can perform at a high level. If you need to go back home at the end of that and throw the duvet over your head, so be it. But for that moment, you really need to dig deep and find those tools. And as these two wonderful ladies know, if they've been invited to an event and they've got a keynote speech, or they are coaching and guiding students, they cannot walk in there for 1 second and go, I hope I can perform for you. I had a really bad night's sleep. That's not even an option. You've got to plow through, and you've got to show up with your best foot forward.
Spot on. Thank you very much, Philip. I think it's interesting to just tag on to what you just said is I do many interviews, as you know, as we talk to many people, and people will show up. We don't even know each other. And the first thing I hear is, this is wrong, that's wrong, I'm late because of this. And I'm thinking, why are you telling me all these things when we don't know each other? You're giving me the negativity. Mancy, why do we sometimes come forward putting ourselves down and making excuses instead of just being there in the moment?
It has a lot to do with self-confidence. If you are not comfortable with yourself, if you have not prepared for what you have come to, or you're not passionate about it, you will always end up getting excuses. If you know you have to be at a place at, say, 7 a.m., I would rather be at that place at 6:45 rather than say 7 a.m. because that gives me time to know my surroundings, settle a little. So if you are prepared and you're passionate about something, you don't give excuses. But if you've come in a very, kind of way, okay, you have to be there, or it's my job and I have to be there, then you're always giving excuses.
That's very true. And I think also about expectations, and I'll give an example, and then we'll go over to BC. Yesterday, I'm on an island, and I left the island, so I had to do an errand, and I thought, you know what, I might as well get the car wash because there's no car wash here. So there was a long line. So I waited online, and I thought, oh, this is probably going to take about 45 minutes. I've got to get back. But you couldn't get out of the line. So I said to myself, you made a decision to do something, and now this is where you are. So are you going to be like the other people, blowing their horns and people screaming out the window, what's taking so long? I thought, no, I will wait in this car. I will do some work on my phone, and I will make the best of it. But the other people were not doing the same thing. So BC, there are times when things are not going our way, or maybe we didn't have the expectation level that we could have, and now we're starting to lose it, and our losing our control of ourselves is impacting other people. What are your thoughts about how to contain this?
I work with a lot of women in leadership positions who have had to fight hard to get there. And one of the things about being a woman in a position where probably you are the first woman, or you are the only woman, or there are not many like you, is you feel that you always have to make excuses for shortcomings, perceived or real or perceived. And so what I tell women is, you don't have to apologize and you don't have to make excuses. Show up when you're asked to show up. Try not to be late, as Nancy has said, because it's not really nice to arrive at an event huffing and puffing, because it throws you off balance. So try and manage your time as effectively as possible so that you can gather your thoughts and deliver a presentation that is coherent. And for those who happen to be in leadership positions, who are invited to events, maybe not as the main speaker, but just to show up, around where I'm based in Nigeria, it's quite common for well-known persons to be asked to give what they call a goodwill message. And they might not tell you this ahead of time, so you haven't prepared any notes. So it means you just have to speak extempore. And some people are not comfortable with that. And so I tell women, you don't have to start by saying, oh, I didn't know I was going to have to say something here, or I don't have any notes prepared. Just say what you have to say. And everyone who is in a position of responsibility should be able to give a 2 to 3 minute, what we call elevator pitch about anything. So I think it's just about trying to understand ourselves and knowing that we should develop the tools. It takes time, but develop the tools to enable us, again, show up and be the best version of ourselves possible.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And along what you just shared, I think it also is we can become dependent on notes, for example, or even coming here, people will say, do you have the questions you're going to ask in advance? No, I have no idea what I'm going to ask you. I'm listening to the conversation and going where it goes. So if someone is asked to speak on something and they are an expert, within them, they have the knowledge and the expertise already, but maybe it's that fear factor. So my next question is, what about the imposter syndrome that so many of us as women experience, and also as business owners, where we feel we don't command the amount of money for what we're doing as men do? So it's a big topic, but let's talk about imposter syndrome as a woman and your experience. Nancy?
This is present in every part of the world, and it's a very underlining thing that happens. I'm not going to deny that. But I can see a lot of change that is coming in. And I can see a lot of value addition in my side of the world. The women have literally taken over the business world by storm these days. And the paychecks are also coming in more, if not equal. We've really left the men behind on our side of the world this time. And somewhere down the line, if you are feeling that you are not getting compensated for your worth and everything, just go ahead, surge ahead. It will come to you. How long is, things are going to remain behind the curtains? How long is the world not going to see what you are capable of? And every devil gets its due. And I'm sure about that. I'm very positive on these matters.
That is exciting. Wow. The women are surpassing the men. Fantastic. Woo! I just want to throw out there, I started reading this book, Think and Grow Rich, and I'm not a paid spokesperson, and just talking about imposter syndrome. There's 6 steps that you can take, and one is, how much money do you want to have and by when? And I thought to myself, I don't know, because I'm not about money, but I couldn't even imagine putting down $1 million. Like, I couldn't even imagine even though it's an exercise, I couldn't believe it myself. So I put down 300,000, and I'm still kind of struggling with that. And it's all what's in your mind. So BC, as a leadership coach, how would you coach me or someone else to break down that barrier of insecurity?
Well, what I would ask you is, do you believe that you have the right to sit at this table? Do you believe that you have what it takes to do a great job? Do you have the necessary qualifications, the expertise, the social capital to be able to succeed at what you do? If your answer is yes, then I will tell you someone else or other people are projecting an imposter syndrome on you. You know who you are and that you deserve a seat at this table. If your answer is no, I don't believe I deserve to be here, then there's a lot of work that then needs to go into you understanding why you believe that way and the kind of socialization that happened to you that made you feel that you can't achieve your dreams. You are here, you are doing this, you're doing a fantastic job. So why are you listening to voices that you should have shut out a long time ago? So if you haven't shut those voices out many years ago, the time to do it is now, right from this conversation.
You hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much for the therapy session right now. I appreciate it. And hopefully people out there watching are taking something away from this, because we all have our insecurities and it is good to talk about it. Philip, you're the only male on the panel today. So what are your thoughts about what you're hearing?
I'm behind it. I think, as I said to these amazing, incredible ladies when we came into the train on the first day, I'm the first one to I say with a big to sit behind and thrive and drive women leaders. And I think it may not need to be repeated, but I did say something along the lines of, I truly believe that women should be in power globally, running the various countries for the right reasons and for the obvious reasons. I think there are many obvious reasons, and those obvious reasons I'd let hopefully the public, the people listening to the show, take on board and realize that women are far more dynamic. They take things a lot more in a different direction than men do. There's definitely less ego. There's less bravado. Women tend to be the nurturers. They tend to be the people that will look at a situation and start to work out possibly the best way forward. And as we all know, women take on too much. Women are given that responsibility of raising a family. Men wouldn't have a clue. That's why it wasn't given us a responsibility. Yet we go out there and we try to run a country. So there's lots of rabbit holes we can go down here. But I'm in this camp, and I haven't got a wig to throw on me. But trust me, I'm very much on this page.
Thank you, Philip. It absolutely means so much to know that you're supportive of women and you're our cheerleader. So appreciate that. As we're coming towards the end of the show, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to let people know about the work that you're doing. So we're meeting you for the first time, and I'd like to hear more. Mancy, what is it that you do, and how is it that you can help our audience?
I build confidence. I build confidence for you to step out. I work with a lot of tier 2 cities, people in India who have a communication issue and don't have the confidence to come out. Like Philip said, English is a challenge in a lot of places. So they think if they do not know English, they're not good enough. I change that mindset. I give confidence for you to step up, put your best foot forward, and come there and conquer the world. Do not sit in the corners of your homes. Come out, see that the world is ready for you, and take it on. That's what I do.
Thank you, Mancy. And who would be a good client for you?
Educational institutions are a great client for me. One-on-one male, female are absolutely great. Any individual looking to up their game and build confidence and put their best foot forward is my client.
Thank you. And final question about this topic. What does the process look like when someone hires you?
The first meeting that we do is the client need analysis. Only once I meet the person can tell me, I want to speak, I want to do this, I have these problems. But only once I meet the person and analyze what exactly is the problem. Because the work actually starts from the inside first and then goes to the outside. I'm also an image consultant and stylist. So styling is the last thing that comes in. If your confidence or your emotional intelligence is not great within you, I cannot build anything above that. I need to work from the inside. So I decide where are the problem areas and how soon can we, how can we go about it? And that's when I start giving the entire program. I actually put in the program that you would need, say, 5 classes or 10 classes or 1.5 hour each. And these are the topics that we would cover. And over a period of time, keep checking in if there is an implementation. And I give homework also, because I think without that, I wouldn't know where the person is reached. And only when I am satisfied at the end of it that, yes, we've done the deliverables and the person has been confident enough to walk without any hand holding, is where I step back then.
Thank you, Mansi. Transform with Mansi. So you are the confidence queen, it sounds like. BC, you heard what Mansi had to say. Before we get into
Yes.
your work, how does what she's doing complement or parallel what it is that you're doing?
Okay, so my background and career has been in the field of international development. I have spent many years working specifically on creating opportunities for women and girls in various African countries and around the global south as well. When I was younger, in collaboration with other young leaders like me, I started the African Women's Leadership Institute, which was a training, information, and networking forum for young African women between the ages of 25 and 40. And the idea at the time was for us to prepare young African women for leadership positions in the public sector, private sector, and social sector. Now, we are in times when all the women that we trained at the time at the Leadership Institute are in positions of leadership and responsibility, and they need help and support to enable them stay in those positions, to build the required networks and opportunities and the sisterhood and the solidarity that's important for them to have as women in leadership positions. And so I found myself supporting and coaching and mentoring women who are in leadership positions or younger women aspiring into leadership positions. And it's been a very interesting journey for me and one that I continue to enjoy.
Congratulations on that, BC. And what does an engagement with you look like as a leadership coach? What does that process look like?
Well, just as Mansi has suggested, we first of all have to have a conversation about where you are now on your leadership journey and the things that you think are important to you for you to take the next steps. And then I will work with you on those things and then see when we are ready to then take other steps. And those other steps could be further training, it could be introductions to other women who are in similar positions, it could be a whole range of things. But it's also important for women, the kind of women I work with, they have to be encouraged to tell their stories, because a lot of them feel that their experiences or the journeys they've had are not important, are not reference points that others can learn from. And so if people understand that their stories are unique and they're important and they need to be told, they will feel encouraged to use their life experiences to take the next steps that are necessary for themselves.
Absolutely. What an honor and pleasure it is to have two powerhouse women here today. It's incredible. What would you like to share that I've not asked you yet, Mansi?
That you are enough, you are abundant, have confidence in yourself, and never shy away from taking help. Like, we need a painter to paint the house, we need a carpenter to make our furniture. There are professionals out there who can help you elevate your game, and never feel shy to connect with them. Again, you're enough, be confident, be the best version of you inside out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And also, I want to just mention something that BC talked about as well earlier, is that all of us have experienced different things in our lives. And there are things as a child, possibly, or as an adolescent that we experienced and are holding us back. And so we need to break through, identify what are those things, and talk to someone about it. So whoever is out there listening right now, we know that listening is a gift. So if you don't feel like you're being heard where you are, there are people who will be there and listen. We've got two here right now, in addition to Philip and the entire British School of Excellence, as well as people here at USA Global TV and Radio. So I'd love to have you share how people can get in touch with you, Mansi, and then I'm going to go over to BC for your final words.
My Instagram handle is Transform with Mansi. That's the best way to connect with me. My email address is also transformwithmansi@gmail.com. Please do get connected with me. My India number is mentioned on the screen. Get in touch with me via WhatsApp, email, or my Instagram. It'll be great to connect with you.
Thank you very much. And BC, what would you like to share that I didn't ask you?
I often tell women that there is a reason why Superwoman and Superman are cartoon characters. That's what they are. They are cartoon characters. They are not real. And so, as women, we need to resist the temptation to be perfect, because the way we are socialized, we are taught to believe that we have to be perfect in every single way. The perfect student, the perfect professional, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect in-law. There is no such thing. And we end up being frustrated, burnt out, anxious, and we start feeling that we are not enough, as Mansi has just said. So not only are we just enough, we need to be able to accept the fact that we don't have to be perfect. What we have to be is who we want to be. And that is exciting, innovative, creative, loving, caring, passionate, compassionate versions of ourselves. The genuine thing, the real article, not what someone else wants us to be. Be you. I'm me.
Excellent. Both of you, fantastic shares today. Thank you very much. Philip, what would you like to say to your alumni?
Just thank you for being here. And, they've showed up and they've given the world some amazing guidance and steering. And this is what this is about. These are leaders in their own right who give you these tools to make changes, because we don't have it. We don't know it all. And sometimes we feel that we're stuck and we don't know what to do. And the first thing to do is take action and find someone that you can connect with and resonate with. And these are two powerhouse women who have made it their whole life's work to go out there and make a difference in this world. And I just want to salute them and embrace them and say thank you.
Thank you very much, Philip. BC, I want to give you a chance to share your contact information as well.
Yes, I can be reached on my social media handles at BC Fayemi. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And my email is bafayemi@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. If you want to drop your email address into the chat, we can share it. So it's been an absolute pleasure, Mansi and BC, having you here today. We would love to have you back on this or one of our other shows. We've got, I think, 47 shows now, Philip. So we'd love to help you continue to share your messaging across the world.
Thank you so much. It's been great. It's been really great. Thank you, sir, for giving us an opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.
And
Thank you so much. I've had a great time.
Lovely to see you both. And just one thing, ladies, Dr. Jacqueline means it when you can go on and have a look at some other shows and be guests on those shows. Take advantage of this wonderful platform, because it's there to grasp with both hands. And both of you have got so much to offer and guide and steer and give people incredible tools for life. And we need to expose you more and more and more, just to create this wonderful ripple effect throughout the world.
Absolutely. So is it okay if I remove a picture?
Of course. Let's take a picture, Mansi. There we go. Everyone smile.
All right. That's a good one.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And if Mansi and BC haven't met Dr. Mutali, I'd love to introduce them on A Woman's Prerogative.
Yes, A Woman's Prerogative. Absolutely. That's just one of them. Yeah, there's so many.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, beautiful women, for being here, and look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Another fabulous episode, Philip. Thank you so much.
What a joy. What a joy. Hey? Just let's multiply those characters in this world. Let's get out there and create change wherever we go.
Absolutely. Would you like to share what's coming up for the British School of Excellence?
certainly, we've got an incredible Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire show coming up with Dr. Pamela at the end of the month, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Dr. Pamela is a past alumni and has studied for the last 20 or 30 years, should I say, in the field of human character, human nature, human beings, etiquette, manners, emotional intelligence. So that's coming up toward the end of the month on our Live, Learn, Teach, Inspire. So please, audience, keep an eye on the date and register for that. We then have the Polished Professional coming up very, very soon, starting in August. And we would love and encourage anyone out there, anyone, and I mean anyone. It's 8 sessions of 2 hours each. You don't have to take all of them, but I would encourage you to absolutely come in and do the Polished Professional. Our mindset and confidence for youngsters, for the teenagers, that's going to be an amazing journey where we've got a couple of coaches giving you guidance and steering. It's fun, it's interactive. Mindset and motivation is the step 2. They're taking place on that weekend of the 17th and 18th of August. And then we have our new Train the Trainer coming on, well, as people can see there, the 12th of August. So literally 4 weeks away from today, where we will be launching our not in person, this is Zoom. The in-person Train the Trainer in London will be in November. And that's just scratching the surface. There are many other things that are coming into play, articles that have been written, material that's been shared, and we've got lots going on at the British School of Excellence. Have a look at our website and you can 100% be informed. Sign up to the newsletter. We will inform you what's going on in the world and what's going on with different subjects and topics. And for any of you out there who just want to dip their toe into what we might have to offer, just go to our e-learning page, and with a very, very low barrier of investment, you can seriously get huge value. And don't take my word for it. Take the word from past students who've signed up to those e-learning, the e-learning material, and the feedback has been exponential. So from us here at the British School of Excellence, we want to just thank our students and thank the people that follow us on this wonderful platform and follow us on all our social media channels. And we owe it to you. Keep pushing the word out there. Go out there, make a difference, make every day count.
Thank you, Philip. What a great way to wrap up this episode. Well, it was fabulous seeing you, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, what a great show we had today. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have 2, USA Global TV and Radio, and also Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. We're on a mission to get to 100,000 subscribers on both channels by September 15th. So that's a wrap for now. We'll be coming back with our next show. As I mentioned, we have about 47 different shows. In addition to being on social media, we're also on Roku worldwide. We're on Amazon Fire, E360 TV, and Zizzle TV. So we are distributing content all across the world on many platforms. If you'd like to join our team, if you'd like to be a TV show host or a panelist or an expert presenter, please do get in touch with us. Go to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and fill out the contact form. All the information you need is on the website under the Join Us page. All right, we are saying goodbye for now, but we will be back shortly. Let's take a look at the Polished Professional Philip was just referring to. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, elegance in eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, mastery in dining etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.